Hey, what's up? Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Yes, it's Thursday. I am finally back. I am finally back. Real life relationship growth. It is our first Thursday back. There was an 8 week break, and not because it was a break because we weren't doing anything, but those of you that took part and know and were a part of it, we had an 8 week series. It was called "It's Your Fault." It was called "It's Your Fault." It was great. It was great. But I am back now to our regular scheduled. Uh, how do you say it? Regular scheduled show. Regular, however you want to say it. However we gonna say that. We are back. We will be here every Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Unless I let you guys know beforehand, because Sister got a life too. Every Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to get into this topic tonight, but I have to say this because it's been a minute. Let me remember. Let me remember. Hey, welcome to the Real Life Relationship Growth Platform. Get together, chop it up, talk about. We are here to discuss relationships, healthy, productive, growing relationships. Now, reality is that is not always true in life. There is no perfect relationship, there is not one. But working on perfection in a relationship, as you can do personally for yourself, is definitely a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. So, this is the criteria for you to be a part of this family. And just to let you guys know, this is the new page, the Real Life Relationship Growth Renewed page on Facebook. We're still the Real Life Relationship Growth page on YouTube. So if you are on YouTube, you're going to show up here. You're going to show up here, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. I am Donna. What's up? If y'all don't know me by now, look, I'm going to say this like I always do. This is my thing. I am not a relationship expert. I am just a black woman in this world, living this life, doing the damn thing, and enjoying myself in the process. My ups, my downs. I'm not going to give y'all all my business, not all of it, but I believe this: there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new that you can tell someone or say that they're going to be like, oh, when it comes to a relationship. I mean, it may be like that because that's not the way they look at it. But our point here, our purpose here, is to take some of my experiences and maybe kind of give you some advice, or take some of your experiences and give us as a family as a whole some advice. Now, you can take it. We're not trying to change people, if that makes sense. We're not trying to change the dynamics of your relationships, but if we can say something to one another to focus on a better way, because two different people trying to live the world together, and there may be a different way of doing it that you may not have thought of. So we're gonna take what we can take, and we're gonna leave what we can leave. So I got used to the thing, y'all, with the 8 weeks with the It's Your Fault series. I got used to having a crew with me, and it was fun. It was good. We had a good time. We had Mr. Jimmy Rogers of Relationship Real Talk. We had Corey B, the educator. We had Mark of Day Night Online. And we had my cousin. We always call him Little Devil's Advocate. We had my cousin, Mr. Cortland Tony of Unique Made. So tonight, based on the topic, you guys saw the topic? Let me put the topic up. Let me put the topic. In case y'all didn't know what we're talking about tonight, this is our topic: sticks and stones. Are you speaking life over your man? Are you speaking life over your man? Over your man, to your man, through your man, around your man, behind your man's back. All of that applies. All of that applies tonight. So what I wanted to do, is I wanted to ask some experts. All right? Understand what we mean when we say experts. Now let me say this also. There are some experts on our panel sometimes, on the platform sometimes. Experts meaning they have those degrees and those letters behind their names, and they specialize in certain areas. We will have those type people on. And anytime we do, we want y'all to be able to use their resources, whether it's premarital counseling, counseling because you want to choke that man out, or you want to choke that one out, and you kind of top all that stuff. So there are resources that come from this page. So let me do this. Let me introduce the crew tonight. It's of course it's all ladies. Of course it's all ladies. My girl Corey B wasn't available, but I know she'll pop on here and there and probably give her comments at times as we go through this thing. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go. We usually go from the oldest to the youngest. I'm gonna start with the youngest tonight. I'm gonna start with the youngest tonight. This young lady, I have to tell y'all, I have so much respect for her. And I don't even think she knows that. I don't know if she knows that. I have so much respect for her. Um, she is she is a talented, call her the jack of all trades, kind of crafts, all kind of things. But she is an educator. She's an educator. I'm gonna read she look, y'all, she gave me she I asked for a bio, y'all. She's been married for 10 years. And she and her husband dated for 1 year before they got married. And they have three crumb snatchers. I know that personally because they my nieces and nephews. But this young lady I'm going to introduce, this is my baby. This is my baby. She a grown woman. Okay. This is my niece, Miss Ashley Lockhart, the educator. What's up, babes?
Hey.
Hey, Ash. Now, I know what y'all going to say. Y'all got the same face, but hold on. Just wait. My next guest, my next professional expert is a fairly new friend in my life. A fairly new friend in my life. And this young lady came to my life in a byway, in a oh, I said byway. Let me be clear. She came by way of someone else. Let me say that. She came by way of someone else. And it's crazy when you meet people and you automatically click with them and you can see the things about them that are so great and that you just love. Hey Kev, hey Kevin, but you just love. But I've known this young lady now for maybe 8 months, and she has become already one of my homies, one of my girls, one of my ride or dies. We gonna introduce. Well. I'm sorry, because somebody did their homework. She is an elementary special ed and ESOL teacher, and she's a certified life and business coach. She has been married 26 plus years with six crumb snatches. They grown, I'm sure, most of them, and 10 grandchildren. She and hubby dated about 3 years. They dated for 3 years. My girl, this is Michelle. What's up, lady?
Hey, hey, hey. What's going on?
All right. And last but not least, y'all, I could go on and on and on about this chick right here. But I won't because we'll be here all night. Let's see. What did she say? Huh. Wife of 24 years, still learning and growing together in love. Still learning, growing together in love. I can attest to that because I have been front seat witness of that for many, many years. This, y'all, is my ace, my rider, my best friend, my cuss you out, fuss you out, get back together, love on each other, talk about each other, call my mama on you, call her mama on me, my big sister, Claudette.
How y'all doing?
Now, those of you who have been following the page and hanging out for a while, y'all already know who this is. Like her, I'm pointing. I'm not sure where she is on y'all screen, but she's over here for me. Y'all usually see her on the feed as Paul Rogers, cause that's her man. That's her man. Oh, Paul Rogers. So this is my sister Claudette. Hey, sis.
Hey.
All right, all right. Everybody looking good. Everybody is looking good. Let me see. I like to try to kind of shout out and say hello to anybody that's on. Our boy Kevin. Kevin is faithful. Kevin is faithful. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, Kevin.
Kevin is faithful. Kevin is faithful. I see Mr. Hoskins on. Mr. Hoskins watching. Hello, sir. Let's see. Kevin, we got Kevin in there. So we're gonna get this thing started. We're gonna get this thing started because we want to do this a decent in order our time frame. We're gonna try. We're gonna try, but y'all know how we get sometimes. So again, our topic tonight is sticks and stones. Are you speaking life over that man,
Mm,
around that man, to that
mm.
man, through that man, behind that man's back? Are you doing that? So I wanted to have a little collection of wives on here. I am not a wife, y'all. Been there, done that though. But I
Gonna do
wanted,
it again.
huh?
Ain't gonna do it again.
They're gonna do it and will. um, so I wanted to get the different perspectives. Ashley. How old are you, my dear?
I am 35.
Ashley is 35. Ashley is 35.
What a baby.
So we don't mind saying it because black don't crack. All of
Nope.
us other ones are in our 50s. We are in our 50s. We don't have to put an exact number to it. If you I'm 52. I listen.
54.
50. Okay, okay. Shell, you rocking it? 50. Okay, all right, all right.
As of last Monday.
Oh,
All
that's
right. Oh, happy
right.
birthday.
That's right. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
Anna, what's up, babe? All right. So we're gonna get this thing started, y'all. We're gonna get this thing started. Um, I don't really like to just control the flow. I want us to flow. I want us to flow. So based on the topic, ladies, do either one of you all want to say something based on that topic, starting out from the gate?
Yes. Are you speaking life over your man? I'm gonna tell you something. In the beginning of these 24 years,
Come on.
I was not speaking life over my man. I was blowing fire on him. Every everything anybody did to me in the past, any man, he got it. He was gonna pay for it. Until one day he spoke over me and he said, I can't continue this until you go to counseling. I'm in counseling. You need to go to counseling if we're going to continue this relationship. Once I got in counseling, shout out to counseling. My goodness. Once I got in counseling, I was able to see the things within me that were wrong and that were hurting me. And I was able to then shift my perspective on him and say, well, you know what? Not only does he look completely different than any man that I've ever been with, he acts completely different than any man that I have ever been with. And through counseling, I learned myself, and then I was able to then start speaking life and breathing life over my man. I was able to tell him how good he looked, how good he smelled, how good he felt, you know, without being agitated and aggravated. Different things that he would do that I would blame him for that really wasn't on his plate. So it wasn't until I got into that therapy to see what in the world was going on with me was I able to start breathing life into him. So until you can breathe life into yourself, whether it be spouse, children, friends, pastor, it don't matter. You cannot breathe life into anybody until you breathe life into yourself.
To yourself. I agree. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So anybody else? Anybody?
Well, I didn't have the previous experience to go off of as far as blaming or comparing him to anyone else because I was fairly new to relationships. when I met my husband. Um, I didn't date a whole lot. Um, I did some adolescent dating like in college. And those I don't really count as real relationships because I don't think they were real relationships. It seemed like school relationships. I teach middle school and they have relationships all the time. And that's how I felt like my college relationships were, like these middle school
Yes, I can see that.
relationships.
Mhm.
So I think it wasn't until we have gone through some things that um it has really become I feel like now we're doing the work. We've been together 10 years and I feel like I'm sorry, we've been together for 12 years, but married for 10. And I feel like the first like 9 years, it was just living because we had kids kind of early. Um, and we just got started with that, with raising a family and keeping a household. And
Hmm.
now that our kids are a little bit older, then it's taking a little bit more work. um, so I don't feel like I feel like I was speaking life over him. Um, but I feel like he is a different type of person. When we talk about giving compliments, physical compliments, he's not real good with the physical compliments. But complimenting him on the things that he do or the thing that he does, um, the things that he might do for us as a family, I think that goes a long way, um,
Mhm.
more than those other compliments.
Okay, okay. Michelle, I'm gonna get you in a second. I just wanna veer for a second. Gotta say what's up to IG. Hey IG. I wasn't sure if IG was gonna work tonight because y'all are not on this platform. So I gotta do y'all on this camera. So if y'all see me looking back and forth, no y'all, I'm not crazy. Well, just a little bit. But I'm trying to work both devices until we can get IG set up on the Restream platform. So, hey, IG, welcome. What's up? Our topic tonight, and I did post it in the IG page, the Real Life Relationship Growth IG page. Sticks and stones. Are you speaking life over your man? All right, Miss Michelle, what you got, my dear?
Well, I guess I can say that I think my spiritual growth has taught me how to speak life over my husband.
Mm,
And my spiritual journey, I would even say, even more, go even a step further and say my spiritual journey determines how I'm conscious of how I'm speaking life over him.
nice.
Because if I'm at
Mhm.
a low ebb in my spiritual life
Hmm.
currently, I can find myself regressing and I have to
Right.
catch myself. So I myself, like Claudette said at the beginning, it was bad. It was bad. And certain things I would say to him, I wouldn't dare say to him now.
Mm,
Right.
Yeah. And so I
mm,
realized that um I can make or break him. I can break him with ugly words, um, criticism so much, and I can say some of the same thing, get my point across in a polite way, and it actually motivates him.
Hmm.
Or I can say the things that that I need to take notice of, and it can ignite him and light him up. So I've learned that when I'm spiritually where I need to be, I can help him be a better man from
mm.
what I plant in him, but I definitely have to keep myself spiritually nourished so that I don't fall back into that trap because it's we're constantly on a almost like a I don't know a wheel in life something sometimes we're going faster, sometimes we're going slow. So I've discovered in my own self-discovery and reflection that when I'm more spiritually grounded, I'm better at feeding him the right things.
And
Mm-hmm. That's real good. That's real good. So I'm gonna say again, even though I'm not married now, I've definitely been married. Um and yeah, no, my mouth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because we tend to kind of I believe that thing we kind of we live what we learn,
mm-hmm.
and our past experiences and our traumas and our setbacks and all those things kind of form who we are. And um, I kind of come from some early hurt, from some early hurt before I even started dating hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came into a place of dating and wanting to be with someone, I had no clue on how to do that. All I knew was I needed to control the narrative because I needed to
Right.
take care of me and hold this together. So if I was going to do that, anybody else came close, came around, they you had to go by these rules. You had to go by these rules because it's not going to be
These
any
are
other way.
great. Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be any other way. So I went that way. I behaved that way. I don't mind saying, my children's father, we were both young. We were both young. Definitely didn't know what we were doing. Had a son, and that trickled into marriage. And we started trying to live this life, and business started, and all this stuff, and all of these things in life happening without us being properly trained on really how to handle it. I went to school and got a degree. He went to school. He was educated in work, but we weren't educated in home.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know how to do that thing, and we were trying to master it um, by just off of what we knew and what we thought we knew, and how we could do that. But yeah, that mouth, we praise God for the muzzle, the mental muzzle.
Yes.
I
Yes.
still
You know you
gotta
got it
tighten.
honest.
Look, I still gotta tighten it up. Like just I still gotta tighten it up. Kevin said, "Salute to Claudette for honesty. Come on with it." Let's see. I think this is Kevin because y'all know Facebook is not going to show your names on Restream. So this is also Kevin. A woman's words can bring out the king in a man or regress him to the level of a teenager. Her
Woo!
affirming words will certainly accelerate his elevation. Yes, sir.
Evolution.
Yes. I'm sorry. Evolution. Thank you.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Evolution. Thank you. I am
Mhm.
going to play this video clip before we kind of get deep in this because it speaks volumes.
To him with words of affirmation. Tell him he looks good. You can melt him in a moment. Here's what I need you to hear, ladies. He's becoming what you see in him. You want him to get cleaned up more? When he's cleaned up, tell him how good he looks. You want him to lead more spiritually? When he goes to church on Sunday, takes your family to church, drives, and y'all go sit down. Thank you for taking our family to church. Stop telling him what he's not. So tell him what you see him becoming.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Y'all, I'm sorry for the way it showed on the screen. I didn't change that format. Sorry. But the point is what we heard.
Right. That's what we saw.
The point is what we heard. Look, I'm gonna play it again before we finish up, and I turn brother right. Y'all be able to see who it is.
We are all married women. I said we are all married women.
Yeah, right. Like I was hiding something, right? My bad, y'all. My bad. I'll fix it next time it plays. Um what did y'all catch from that? What's the one thing y'all caught from that video?
Um, want to say, even in what I just said a moment ago, I also want to mention that yes, a woman can motivate a man, but I don't want it. I before we get too far in the conversation, I don't want it to be the idea that it's completely the woman's responsibility for the man's motivation and for his
Come on.
mental well-being in his own the way he views himself and his own self-worth. There's still a responsibility on the man to be his own motivation. Now, for what we should be an addition to what he already has in his own bank of emotion and self-worth. So I don't want, I just want to say that before we get too deep into the conversation, because I don't want any woman who may be listening, who may be feeling discouraged, like, oh, it's my fault that he's not this way or that way. No, we're not saying that. I think what it is that we, just like if this was reversed, are you speaking life over your woman? It will be what he's bringing to us, as just as we're saying what we bring to him. We are an addition to what he already has or should be establishing within himself.
Let me tell y'all how I see this thing. And yeah, thank you, Michelle. I totally agree. And I'm gonna tell y'all how me personally how I see this thing, right? Women, if you're following and looking at the word of God, he says that we are the helpmate.
Help.
When a man finds a wife,
He found a good thing.
he finds a good thing. I would think in any positive light that would work, whether it's biblical, whether it comes from, I don't know much about give me another, Buddhist,
Hinduism,
Hinduism. I don't know much
Muslim.
about those different beliefs, but I would think foundationally, that's great. That would be great. When a man finds a wife, and a woman to be his helpmate. Me personally, I kind of have that old school way of thinking, and I don't really think it's the old school way of thinking. I think it's just foundation. There's the man. He takes the wife because the creation story says it was him first. It was him first. Hey, Elisa. It was him first, and you know, God formed him, created him, then he gave him help. He gave him a help. He created a woman to be there for him. I personally feel like that first part of how the platform is set, the tone for our relationship, should come from him. Should come from him. And by that coming from him, that puts me in a position to want to follow behind him, to want to reciprocate, do the things he's laying out in those aspects. What do we say to our sisters that is not the norm? That's not what they're dealing with. That's not what they have, and that's not what they're dealing with. Because it sounds great for there to be an order of things. It sounds great. And like I said, me personally, that's my requirements. That's my requirements. I want to follow you. Lead me. Lead me. I want to follow you. And some people can find that hard to believe. I can find it hard to believe. But the core of who Donna is, relational, brother, like where we going?
Right.
I got my bag. Where we going? Because I want to go where you going. But he got to be leading me spiritually, mentally, physically. All of that stuff has to be in play for me to do that great thing, to be submissive.
Trust first.
Trust first. Trust first. So what do y'all say? What's y'all thoughts on that sister that she don't have a brother leading, Like it's always an issue. It's always a problem. He's always looking for her to big him up. And it's like if she don't say and she don't do, it don't happen, stuff like that. What's your thoughts on that?
That
First,
sounds like. Go ahead, Claudette.
no, go ahead, baby. Go ahead. Go ahead.
To me that sounds like he's using her as a scapegoat. Because a man should be a man, regardless of the woman or lack of woman in his life. He still has to be a man. Now, I'm still not taking the responsibility off a woman, because she does have a part to play in building him up, because she is helpmeet, as the title that she was given from God. Right. But at the same time, man is the leader. She honestly, I saw this video today, and I meant to share it with you, Donna. The man said the man is the thermostat. He's the thermostat, but the woman is the thermometer. She can tell you what the temperature is in the relationship. So he sets the tone. He sets the tone. So also, I've heard people say, well, if you don't like the way a woman is acting, well, make sure you look at how you are treating her, because we kind of mirror off of each other. Because sometimes we feed negativity into them, that's what they're going to give back to us, and vice versa.
Claudia, what were you going to say?
That's something mommy always taught. I always learned by looking at mommy and daddy. When she wanted him to do something, sometimes, she'd be like, you know how she do.
But, wait, what she do?
McBride. Hey, mommy, love you. But when she seriously wants to be led by him, she doesn't say a word. She does the things that she knows that she should be doing with him leading her. Even if he's not leading her at the time, she continues to do those things. And then after a while, he's like, let me get involved with this, and he'll start leading. He'll start then like for example, she wanted him to do more when he hurt his foot. So what Paul and I told her was, when he's sitting on that chair and he's vacuuming, I said, give him the vacuum cleaner and let him vacuum right in front of him. Right? I said, because human nature, he's gonna go further than what you gave him to do. And the next thing you know, he's gonna be in that other room vacuuming. It was her idea. She was leading him that way, but watching her caused him to want to move. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to lead by example and let them watch us, or communicate with them and let them know, I'm not being led as a wife like I want to be led by you.
Right.
And let's start with our spiritual life.
Yeah. And sometimes it seems like it's so easy, like, dang, why don't you just, if you would do this, I would do that. But it's not necessarily fashioning yourself. It's kind of like, we can't get into this, I always say this tit for tat thing. If I come out my face at you, don't come out your because some say, you know what, we're going to set the tone. We're going to set the tone. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if my man say, girl, you better go somewhere and sit down with that. Cause bruh, what you say? And then follows that up, of course, follows that up with, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. Ashley, you got something?
No, I'm listening because we have this conversation, my husband and I have this conversation about the man leading, the woman following. And I try to, and maybe I'm just thinking of it too deep, but I try to think about what is, what are the decisions that I'm supposed to be following? Because if there's something, for instance, with the kids'
Come on
education,
now.
I know about education. That's my specialty. So when we're dealing with situations like that, am I supposed to just, and he'll always say, take off your teacher hat, put on your parent hat. But if I know something, if I'm the expert, then I'm not saying that I shouldn't follow his
I
decision,
see where you're
but
going.
I need to give my expertise. I need to say what it is that what it really is from the school point of view. And then as a parent, if we're gonna make if we're making a decision, I can take the it's hard. I can take the lead. I mean, I can follow whatever our decision is, but sometimes when I feel like it's it's something that I just know about more than what I feel like that he knows about, then it's hard. That's a hard avenue to to navigate.
I think I saw Michelle do a
Oh,
little.
okay. Go ahead.
Uh, yeah, I actually I hear you. I hear you. It was funny that you mentioned that the other day. I was I was watching Oprah interview one of my favorite nowadays actresses, Quinta Brunson, the girl who created Abbott Elementary. I just absolutely love her. I think she's fantastic. But anyway,
Mhm.
one thing she mentioned in her interview, she said there's no dimming. Her husband doesn't dim her. It means that when she's, trying to go do something or go getting or go at it, he doesn't try to mute her or tell her to no, don't do this or don't do that. So when you were talking, Ashley, it made me think of that in the sense that if I think it comes from a place where we both don't let our ego get in the way of what's the best for everybody or best for the situation. I think that thing about leading and following, it goes along with the lines of the wrong definition of submission. I think
Mm,
sometimes we get too caught up in um, the man has to be in front of everything. There are some
right.
things that God's given wisdom to the woman to do because, like, one person may be better with the finances. So you're gonna let the person who's a spendthrifty, I'm not spendthrift, spend happy person handle the money, or the person who's financially wise, and that
Right.
Right.
could be the woman. So I think that comes back to the man and his spiritual level. What are you willing to release to your woman because you trust her? Because guess what? You chose her. You
Right.
married her.
I was just getting ready to say that.
So
Right.
you should know her capabilities. You should be growing to know her and know what she's capable of, and you can trust her to do certain things without your ego getting away that I'm the man, I should do it. No. If she's capable of doing it, then release that to her and y'all be in close communication about that situation. It won't be so much where, oh, I'm the man, I'm supposed to do that. Oh no, you sit back. I think it still goes into a bit of chauvinism, just my thought. That's
You
just
know, my husband will tell people, yeah, he said, my wife handles everything. She gives me $3 on payday. He said, well, she gives me five now. She gave me a little raise since I retired. But she gives me $5 now, and we go from there. I remember I got stopped by the police one time, and I had his ID with me, his license, and the police kept looking strange at me. He said, why do you have your husband's ID? I said, because I carry everything. I carry all the cars. I carry all the IDs. I said, I drop him to work and I just have everything.
Huh.
He said, that's strange. My wife, I would never want my wife to carry my wallet. And I said, well, to each his own.
Right. So Kevin said, a man, if he's truly the leader, he's open to a different way. He will allow his wife, lady, to lead in areas he's least experienced in. Leaders also listen and make the best decisions for the betterment of the whole. So if she's better at something than him, he better green light that.
Yeah.
I love Kevin.
Yeah.
Amen, Kevin.
I
Amen.
think that there are certain situations. Of course, we have our discussions and things like that. I wasn't
Right.
saying that. I'm just wondering when we do talk about leading and following, because I hear all the time the man should lead, and so I get a little stumped when it's something like that, because you want your man to lead in things, and you want to that's the reason why you're speaking life into him, so that he can lead the way for you.
Right.
But that is a good point, that leaders do listen. That is
That's what I
true.
said. Leaders
Yeah,
listen.
they have to
Right.
listen to
Right.
someone around them, so that they can lead in the right direction.
I want to speak something on that real quick. I'm gonna veer a little bit on that thought, because what we also have to remember, we look at these men and we need and want so much from them. Um, but sometimes we got to take that little sidebar to remember they're people too.
Yes.
They have things and reasonings behind why they have done what they've done. We got to look at family history. We got to look at what they grew up, what they knew, different than what our household, what we grew up and what we knew. But that's that point in time when you come collectively and say, Mom and Daddy did it how they did it, but this is us. This is us. But we have to look at where he is. Because not only did he choose us, we chose him too.
Yes.
And of course, as we grow and get to know each other more, we find out things and layers are being peeled and we learn each other. Even with 20 some years and 20 some years and 10, years, or whatever, people grow and they change and they evolve. And we have to remember that. Um, we have to remember that. I don't know. I just wanted to say, you know, let's remember that part of it. But collectively, Michelle made really good points a little bit earlier, saying and talking about how we need to see them as well, and know that everything doesn't always land on them,
Mm-hmm.
even though we want it to, even though we sometimes expect it to, even though we feel like we got a Superman. And what you mean you can't do that? What you mean that's hard for you? What you mean? No. What you mean?
Yeah, there was a video that I watched, and the lady was saying that her and her husband, when they get home, they say, I got 50% today. And one would say, I okay, I'll take on the rest. Or I got 30% today. Okay, I'll take on the 70%. But they always did that little check-in, because
I like that.
sometimes I'm good. I can handle everything. I'm good. I'm getting home. I can do dinner. I can get the kids in bath and get everybody set up. And then sometimes I only got 30% today. You're gonna have to
Right.
take on.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, if both of y'all are low, you say how we gonna help each other out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's teamwork. Sounds
Yeah.
like teamwork to me.
Yep. Alyssa said, learning how to operate in a practical and spiritual state and knowing the difference between the two clears up a lot of confusion. The ego causes issues in both states. Let me say that last part again. The ego causes issues in both states. Most definitely. Most definitely. That ego thing. Woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo, woo.
It can make it hard to lead and follow with that ego.
It can. It can. It can make it hard. So let's role play a little bit, y'all. Let's do this real. That ego thing. So Ashley, you the man. You the man in this
Barbecue dad today.
Remember we ego, huh?
I said I was barbecue dad today for
Oh
Spirit.
yeah. Y'all had Spirit Day. You played barbecue. Okay, Ashley. So you the man, right? You the man in the scenario. So remember, we talking ego. We talking ego. Anybody want to give her a scenario? Because we're just talking ego. But you got to respond egotistically, Ashley, however it comes at you. Sir, all right?
All right.
Somebody want to give him a scenario?
Ooh, I can't think of one. What do you when you say that? What do you mean?
Okay, so I'm gonna give an example. I just wanted to. I was trying to. I'm sure we on the same page. Once this comes out, y'all gonna be like, ah, okay. So we want that ego, Ashley. You ready?
Okay.
You know what, babe? Like, I really did not enjoy that. Like, we went out, and you picked the place and all of that. I get it, but man, like, what was you thinking?
I mean, you want me to start picking the dates and planning stuff. So, I mean, I did it. What else do you want? I paid for it. What else do you want?
You ain't think nothing about me. You really didn't. You didn't look at what you ain't think nothing about me. All of that was you.
Asked for. That's not what you asked for. You asked me to make sure, you asked me to plan a date and to pay for the date. You didn't say it had to be a specific place. So that's what I did. I did my job.
Okay. All right. Ladies, that could play a little bit of both ways, but we're dealing with him right now. How could he have responded in a different way? Because my thought is, go ahead, Claudia.
Oh, I felt like he could have asked, well, babe, if you didn't enjoy that place, where would you have liked me to take you? Where would you have liked to, have gone?
A simple question is all sometimes it takes. But
what was it about the dates you didn't enjoy?
Right. And a lot of times the ego is so puffed up. We're so raw and so sensitive and so ready to when somebody says something that we don't stop and just pause. Well, why didn't you like it? What didn't you like about it? Right. What would you have changed about it? What is it something I could do better? But a lot of times
we said, I paid for it. I did what you wanted me to do.
Because, I think what happens too is the pride is so pride. Oh, I did that. We don't give ourselves any room to be wrong. We really think I've done it so perfectly. But not thinking that just because it's perfect to you doesn't mean it's perfect to them. So a lot of times I think that's where that comes from. We're so proud of what we've done. We don't stop and think, well, maybe, or even listen to know if that's exactly what was expected or needed.
But the whole time it was, I paid for this. I did this. I did that. There was no you in there.
Yeah.
Where were you in there?
We got a few comments coming in, and they kind of taking over. I don't want to get too far behind on the comments. The first comment is, what is this? Sorry, y'all. Let me look. The Jasper, Jazz. When a man's ego is in question, there could be a lack in communication with God. Time spent with the Lord will remove egos and attitudes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
On
um,
both sides.
Kevin said, make sure that's Kevin. Kevin said, because can y'all see the comments?
Yes.
Okay,
I,
somebody take Kevin's. Him is her. Somebody read that, please.
Him is her. Her is him. When he looks good, she looks good, and vice versa. We are a reflection of each other. If we're building, let me hammer and nail. She
Mm,
provides me with the nails, encouraging words. What we do together will ultimately come to fruition or lay at a standstill.
nice. Who got the next one? Men can. That's Jazz again.
Men can read body language very well, and that usually affects how the response will be given.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yeah.
And
mm,
I was gonna say, I
He said
think
men can read body language very. Oh, Kevin talking about real talk. They dapping each other up in the chat.
Right.
men,
men can.
wait a minute. They said men can read body language really well.
Uh huh.
And that
So
usually
can
affects
women.
how the response will be given.
I can.
I hope my body, I hope you go by what I say and not by what you think my body is saying.
Well, too, I think it is a whole package
Yeah,
because I can say that I have not said something, but I felt it, and my body probably, and my face probably, um, has expressed what I'm thinking more.
yeah,
And I will try to be okay with it. Like my words, because my body isn't okay with it, because my thoughts isn't okay with it, but I'm trying to be okay with it. So I'm
right.
saying the right things to be okay with it. But it does discourage. Like there has been plenty of times where Jeremiah has said that some things are a little testy to talk about. And I'm like, I'm not a good listener. Like, how am I not a good listener? I mean, but it's because of whatever is going on, my body language, maybe what I have said before. And even though sometimes I try to reverse that, like I'm like, okay, I understand, I get it. I can think of it in a different way. Those previous um responses still have a hold on them. And
Mm,
sometimes he can't. So I sometimes this whole speaking life into your spouse, sometimes well now it's kind of like a I'm trying to make up. I'm trying to make up for whatever has been done in the past. But
Right.
that's hard because people hold on to things that have happened. And so I don't know. I think it comes with time, um, with trust and just hearing, like Aunt Claudette said, just hearing these things multiple times, like, oh, okay, maybe she okay. Okay, maybe she okay. And it just slowly getting to be that way.
Hmm.
mhm.
Well, I guess also it's goes back to what Jasper said a few messages back, spending time with the Lord, because the thing about it is, why are you holding on to something I did in the past? Why are you doing that?
Grudge holding.
Yes, and that's my that's my point, because
Yeah,
we're supposed to resolve that stuff. But
right.
so many times we do hang on to what somebody said in the past, and we try. I get on my husband about this all the time. Why are you talking? You anticipating what you think I'm going to do or what I'm going to say from what happened in the past when I'm not even that person anymore.
Right.
But
Right.
we try to hold on to. I mean, we humans hold
Hmm.
on to stuff because we think holding on to our hurt is some kind of badge of honor,
Badge
when
of
it's really
honor.
doing us a
Keeping me
disservice.
safe, but it doesn't. That's
Yeah.
right.
And
It's
I
doing us a
think
disservice.
like you said, resolving it, because sometimes it isn't resolved, so that's why we can't move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. Instead of going into it and saying, okay, this is done now, and we're gonna
And be
move
honest
on
about
from
it.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if
Yep.
you're not done with it, be honest with
Be
it. And
right.
I'm not
And when
really
you
good with
done
you
with
right
it,
now. We good, but we not real good right now.
mhm,
You know, I'm still kind of, I'm really I'm a little raw with this still. And be
Right.
honest with, instead of then later on something else comes up
And
and that
here, and here
trigger
it is again.
back way over there comes up. You're like, what? Where that come from?
Yeah.
Holding on to stuff. That's so dangerous.
Because it causes another level of problems.
mhm.
It causes another level of problems. Like we already dealing with this. Okay, you didn't like it. You throwing this back up at me and you saying this and that. Now I'm like, now I'm on the defensive. Like, hold on. I said I was sorry. I'm showing you that I am, and I'm trying to make a change and difference. So he's right. It comes to that. And again, I know everyone on this platform does not have the same background and belief, and that's okay. We're talking about getting to a positive place, a complete place. Me personally, God is my thing. Like I trust, I love, I believe, and if the spiritual is off,
Ooh,
spiritual is off, your principles, your core, your fiber, like
The way you operate.
yeah,
mhm. It's gonna
yeah,
be all
it's going to be off. So it's important that we take the time for those things as well, and we pour spiritually into our dudes. We gotta, because they get discouraged. They have stresses at work, the responsibilities of knowing that everybody's looking for them to them for everything. How my daddy did it. Again, we got to get beyond that too, because the way daddy did it and the way mama did it is not always the right way. They did it how they knew to do it. But when
mhm.
you learn better, you do better.
And when
Uh,
you get all that resolved, you can breathe a different type of life into your man a couple of times a week or
man,
more.
man, just based on what he's dealing with, what he's going through.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in hype him up. He do some itty bitty teeny weeny. Ooh, baby. You put that little bitty light bulb in there. Man, listen.
Girl, I tell my
Light
The whole
husband,
house,
up.
the whole house bright. Like
I tell look, I tell my husband, pick your wig tonight.
what?
I love it.
Yes. Comment. Elisa says some folks don't get counseling and healing to be able to. Oh, my page moving. Some folks don't get counseling and healing to be able to not carry baggage into another relationship. Not being able to acknowledge what role they played in their failed relationships hinders success in the next. Most definitely. Most definitely. Kevin
Yeah.
said wig. Clutter, break the wig down to Kevin. Break the wig down to Kevin.
Huh?
Break it down. Break. Kevin said wig. Break
Oh,
it down.
honey.
Break it down.
My husband gets to pick his wigs. He gets to pick who he want me to be each night of the week.
Woo! Yes, ma'am.
We got your long, luscious. We got your short and curly. We got your spikes. We got all varieties.
Hey,
We
hey,
got
hey.
blonde. We even got blonde, baby.
Uh oh.
Spicy.
Uh oh. Uh
I
oh.
love it.
Breathing life into your man.
Breathing life. Breathing life. That also means not talking to your girlfriends about his downfalls. Now I believe in the village concept.
Oh,
That's not
yes.
just for children.
Right.
I believe the village concept, i.e. these sisters sitting on these screens. I
Amen.
believe the village concept. But I also believe these sisters on these screens don't need to know everything.
Right.
They don't need to, but when you have positive women in your life, when you have positive people that speak in positivity over your relationship and like, hey, well, what did you do? What did you say? That's what's needed. It's that village concept, which is why the real life relationship family exists,
Right.
because that village concept. But yeah, when that brother is feeling at his worst, don't I kick a man when he's down. Kick a man when he's down. Since I understand you need him to do things, you need him to say things, you need him to be things. But read the freaking room.
Yes.
We gotta learn how to read the room. We gotta learn how to
Yeah.
read the room. Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I used to be down to the dagger.
Yeah.
And that was Michelle the Machete. Slice and dice. Truth be told,
And
if,
nothing
like
nice.
I said, if I'm not where I'm supposed to be, I'm like, ooh, that shouldn't have said that.
Right, right.
But
And you
I'm
think about the thing.
realizing it's not like I'm just going like before. I didn't realize how bad I was in doing that. Now
I
I
agree.
know better. I know
Yeah,
better, and if I do it, I don't go as far. I can't go that far like I used to. But sometimes I still my mouth get me in trouble. I'm not
yeah,
even gonna play
yeah,
like I'm
yeah,
perfect because I ain't even
yeah,
close.
yeah,
But yeah, just
Yeah, I
do
can be
it.
petty too.
yeah, yeah. And
Machete,
sometimes we
machine
do. We
gun,
come
all
out.
of that.
Sometimes we come out our face, and we get frustrated, and you know, shoot, like menopause ain't no joke. It will flip my
Woo!
mood in a minute. It will flip my mood in a minute. And even without menopause, because Ashley 35, she ain't even hitting that thing yet. But we
Not
got
quite.
stuff going on that the brothers don't, and they can't even begin to understand. But what we do need to do, we do need to explain to them. What I can't stand, y'all, and y'all tell me if y'all agree or what y'all think. I can't stand a woman that expects a man to just know her because she a woman. Well,
Mm-mm.
he shouldn't know. He should know some things, yes, because you should be studying your woman. If you're
True.
not studying your woman, then
That's
bro,
a
you
problem.
it's a
Women are
problem.
from Venus, men are from Mars.
It's a problem. But he should know. Listen, sit down, tell that brother that, and for those who are single on here, those who are single, through that dating process, when things get serious and y'all get into that place of commitment and you realizing I want to follow this brother, but I'm paying attention and I'm watching his moves. In that process, don't give him the cheat sheet now. Don't tell him everything. But you
Mm-mm.
you gotta know something. I don't like flowers. I like this or I like that or I don't, that's okay. The brother show up with flowers and you sneezing.
Ooh,
Cause you ain't tell him.
ooh.
You ain't
And
tell
then the
him you
thing is once y'all get comfortable, then you like, I don't like flowers. Like, you ain't tell me that the whole time we was dating.
right. And look, and I know, and let me tell you what he doing after you told him that. All that money I wasted. And brothers equate that too.
Right.
They look at that dollar bill. It was like, dang, I could have saved that money and did something else.
Mm-hmm.
Or say, you know what, then kind of giving up on it instead of the woman saying like, you know what, those flowers were really nice, but I like this more than. So
Mm-hmm.
still when we go back to speaking life into being positive, then we're still saying, that was very nice, but this is what I like
Right.
instead.
And that's where his ease of ego he got to know. I can't get offended. She told me. She's being honest with me. Can somebody read? That's Kevin. All jokes aside.
All jokes aside, when a woman affirms me, it lights a fire under me. It even makes it easier to accept her criticisms, which is
Mm,
necessary. Building me up requires her to check me when I'm falling short. Leaders aren't afraid to hear the truth. They instead make the changes to improve and move forward.
mm-hmm. And with that, saying that, Kevin, accepting it, ladies, doesn't mean you get to give it to them any kind of way. Even if it's true, we think just because we speaking a fact, and facts are facts. There are some facts. Facts are facts. Even if we're saying something that's true, we still need to be considerate in how we deliver it. Now I know there's some women that saying, he ain't no baby. I don't need no man that's gonna be crying and complaining and whining, and he better tough man up, knuckle. Man up. What? It's gonna be said. Wait, we got a comment. Let me see. Kevin said, all jokes aside. Jasper said, all a woman. Also,
Awesome.
Lord.
Yeah, there you go.
Also, a woman can make a man rob a bank if she asks with love.
Don't do it though, Donna. Don't do
Oh,
it.
no, no.
And honey, if she asks him to rob the bank, she not breathing life into him, honey.
Yeah, but we know what that means. We know what that means. You don't do it, Michelle.
Don't do it, girl. Don't
Don't
do
do
it.
it.
But yeah, the thing about it is, the thing about it is, um, I learned this from one of our oldest daughter, one of her friends. She said this to me, and this is an old phrase, but it never really hit home to me. You can catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. I was like, dang, that is true. And that was kind of the beginning of me starting to clean up my language and my words to my
Right.
husband. Like, you're right, because sometimes, especially, and I have to bring it to us Black women. Sometimes we have an unfortunate reputation of being just
Aggressive.
aggressive, abrasive, combative, all of that, and it tends to be true in a lot of cases. It's not true for every woman, every Black woman, because that's a very horrible stereotype that I hate to hear,
Right.
because I know it's not true. But sometimes we do fall in that category because we want to say, he need to be a man. He need to this. But I'm really on this. I'm like you, Donna. I'm on this spiritual journey. I want to be the best that God wants me to be.
That's
I don't
right.
want to be the best that I think I should be. I want to be the best that He thinks I should be.
To get
So
my way.
as I do that, I'm growing my prayer. Sometimes you know what I notice too? Women who have a sweet nature, and I really admire that,
Yeah.
because I know
Yeah.
I've seen the ugliness of me, and I don't like it. So
Yeah.
I really can notice when a woman have a gentle voice and just a gentle spirit, because that's what the Bible says. That's how we should be. So we can win so many more fights and so many more arguments. Sometimes with a simple gentleness and kindness and
Our
tenderness. But a lot
feminine
of times,
wiles.
Yeah.
say it again,
Our
Claudette.
feminine wiles.
Yes, because a lot of times my husband's like, I don't want to yield to you just because the way you're acting. I'm not gonna do it.
Your
And
heart behind. Right.
it makes me mad,
Right.
yes, but I gotta learn a way to go around that, and that's
Yeah.
with my femininity.
Yeah. 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 Because I mean, I'm sure, and we hear it, we read it, we see it. Most men want that softness. They need that
Mhm.
softness.
It works. It works with them. The hardest man.
And what's
It
crazy
works.
is we know it works.
Yes.
But sometimes
Our egos getting away.
let's see.
Pride.
Yeah. There go that ego again.
Can't soften up my ego. If I soften up, he gonna think I'm soft, and he gonna get the best of me. I can't have
Right.
that.
He gonna take advantage of me because everybody else did.
Right.
Everybody else did. What did Alyssa say?
But did we miss Samson and Delilah? Because It was her. It was her womanness,
Mm-hmm.
her femininity that weakened
Took
him.
that man down.
Hallelujah.
Took that man down. Took him
So
down. Took everything.
yeah, and
Use
that
your
that
powers
was in the
for
Bible
good,
for a
ladies.
purpose.
Use your powers for good, ladies.
Amen.
'Cause
Amen.
we do have them.
Yes,
We
yes.
do have them. Elisa said, where is it? That was her. Make sure that was her. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And it's not enough to just study the mate, study and date the family and friends, etc., to see how they interact with your mate. Their in, oh, page moving. Their influences on your mate is important to how your mate acts and how they do what they do. Live how they live and communicate how they communicate. Love how they love, etc. Jasper said, but sometimes it feels because I have something to say right now. I'm gonna say it, and he better not say a word.
That's
That's
right.
me.
That's right.
I'm that
That's
chick.
right.
I'm that chick.
That's
If
right.
I have something to say, I need to say it. I want to say it, and then when I can't say it,
You
I
cut you
get
off.
frustrated,
You
and
get
you
cut
won't
off.
even have it come out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not that that's right. Not that that's right, but that's a process also of learning your partner.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's the time to shut up and sit back and be like, okay, I'll wait. And sometimes we need to address this in the moment. Just because I know it frustrates you not to. And it makes that thing easier. It makes that thing easier. So there is a time to, what Kenny Rogers say, know when to hold them, know
Mm-hmm.
when to fold them,
Right.
know when to walk away.
I think also the key word in that is knowing when to talk is validation. Validating me by
Ooh,
listening to me
ooh,
when I gotta say what I gotta say. Even if you can't hear me right then, give me the respect and say, okay,
give me a
I understand this is an issue for you. Let's come back to this and literally come back to it. Don't just push me off because you're trying to get out of the conversation right then.
Mm-hmm.
Say, let's come back to it. And you bring it back up since you the one put it on pause. Bring
yeah,
it back up. So I'm not
yeah,
bringing it back up because then you made me feel like you just blew me off.
right, right, right. Because this is that reciprocal thing, men. Speaking life into y'all, speaking positivity into y'all, not negative, also means we need that space to still follow you. And that is a space to follow you. How you handle me when I'm acting like I don't have no sense leaves us with a space to follow you. Not saying we disregard your feelings, because men are people too. I
Mm-hmm.
gotta make sure I keep saying that because some brothers gonna be like, well, if you ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna do that. Well, let's see how long that works for you with some women. But that soft tone, that rub on the back of the head, that pat him on the back when he frustrated, that because sometimes there's nonverbal cues. We don't always have to say anything. We don't always have to say anything. Just let them know I appreciate you by that look or something.
Yeah, I gotta tell my husband, "Ooh, baby, you almost look as brown as I do today." When he be out there getting his tans.
And the fact that
He'll
he
say,
likes
"Really?"
and the fact that he likes the chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
I done locked myself out my phone. What the?
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think I miss that point sometimes. Sometimes is I don't need to say anything. And I think sometimes that saying something kind of irritates it just a little bit more. Like I try to, like, when mine talk about like work stress or kid stress, I want to give a solution. I want to help with maybe think about it like this, or maybe do this. And sometimes he said it's not needed. But
It's not needed.
I feel like that just because I want to do I felt like I needed to do something to try to relieve some stress. And it's like sometimes it's just, I'm sorry to hear you going through that.
Yeah.
You know, what can I do to make it better? And most of the time it's nothing.
Right.
But just to ask,
Right.
Yeah.
it makes
Or just to
world
be
of
like, what? Really?
Mhm.
Do what, Claudia? Elisa said, my husband comes from a competitive background, from sports to the military, and sometimes I have to remind him we're on the same team when problem solving. On the same team.
I tell my husband all the time, I'm
Woo!
not your enemy.
I'm
I
not
am
your
not
enemy.
your enemy.
Mm-hmm. Just because I
That's
don't
what
agree,
Jeremiah say to me. We are not enemies.
we are not enemies. Just because we don't agree does not mean that we're enemies. That means we're two grown humans that have two different ways of doing things, but we got to come together. You know, we always relate it to like sports, something competitive, gaming, something like that. That's when they get it. We got to be relatable.
yes.
There
Of
was a
stock
guy,
market.
the same guy I was talking about, listened to about the thermostat and the temperature. I mean, the thermometer. He said, just because you acknowledge and validate your spouse's opinion, even when it's different from yours, doesn't mean you have to necessarily agree with them.
All
If
right.
you say to
Oh,
them,
that's good.
yes, he said, if you say to them, I
That's
get what
good.
you're saying. I don't agree with it, but I get, at least you let me know you heard me.
Yeah.
I was heard. I was listened to, not just you shouting me down or you shutting me down or you dismissing me, because dismissiveness leads to hurt in the relationship. It leads to me feeling like you don't love me. And then there's a distance, and we can't connect on any levels if we continue to grow this big a space and gap
Hey,
between us.
that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
that is so crazy that you say that because we had a conversation a while ago about the difference between agreeing and understanding.
Mm.
And my thought before we got into the talk was that if I understand, isn't that agreeing? Or if I agree, don't I understand? And that it had to be together. And like you were saying, Michelle, it is something that's totally different. And you can understand where somebody is coming from without agreeing with their opinion or
Right.
whatever it is that we're going through.
Mm. Yep. So understanding does not always mean
I
I'm going to
agree.
agree with you.
Right.
I'm just giving you
I
that.
hear you. I hear you. I understand you, but I just don't agree. We'll
I
have
can
to
comprehend it.
agree.
Yeah. I can
That's such a level of respect too. It's such a level of respect when you tell somebody, "Oh, I hear you. I don't agree, but in love, tell them I hear you. I get where you're coming from, but I don't see it that way." That's
Yeah.
so beautiful to me because we're not gonna agree about everything, but at least you told me you got where I was coming from. You see me from my perspective, but we just don't agree, and that's okay.
You don't agree. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm gonna play that video one more time, and
With the
then
face this time.
yes, I got it. Yep, I'm gonna play it one more time, and while I'm doing that, ladies, I want y'all to think about y'all send off comments. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let me get here. Let me do this right this time. I have to change that. I believe that's what I have to change. All right. Yeah, give me a minute. It's not going to let me change it. It's literally telling me this is not available for me to switch when I'm live. So put your listening ears on.
To him with words of affirmation. Tell him he looks good. You can melt him in a moment. Here's what I need you to hear, ladies. He's becoming what you see in him. You want him to get cleaned up more? When he's cleaned up, tell him how good he looks. You want him to lead more spiritually? When he goes to church on Sunday, takes your family to church, drives, and y'all go sit down. Thank you for taking our family to church. Stop telling him what he's not. So tell him what you see him becoming.
And who wants to close? Who wants to give their last leaving comment? Speaking life, sticks and stones. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me say this real quick before we get off, y'all. Before we get off. Hey, if you guys are new to the page tonight, please go follow the Real Life Relationship Growth channel on YouTube, the Real Life Relationship Growth Renewed page on Facebook. Greatly appreciate it. We are on live every Thursday. If you have topics, drop them in my inbox, whether, put it in the chat on YouTube or put it in the chat on Facebook. Give me your topics. We can discuss these things. Y'all don't have to say, it's me, it's my situation. That's not what we're here for. We're not trying to be nosy. We're not trying to jump into people's business. We are trying to help each other get to a more productive, healthy place. And I love lives, because that's what it is. That's what it is. All right. What you got, Ash? We started with you. We're going to start with you again. What you got?
Women have a lot of power. And we can use that power. I'm going to use Aunt Donna. We can use that power for good. And really, we can bring life into our relationship in ways that we're nurturers by nature. And we can bring life to our relationship if we do it the right way. There's a book, Love and Respect. I haven't finished it. We only hit it just a little bit, but one of the first things that it talked about was somebody has to start. So we say, you not doing this, but so I'm not going to do this. I heard that a couple times tonight, and somebody has to start. And we can be the ones that start. We don't have to be the ones that start. Our spouses can start, but if we're the one that's the nurturers, we can bring life to the relationship, then we can start with that.
All right. Miss Michelle, what you got?
I think the key to being the best wife, to speak life into my man, the key to it is having a relationship with God, a thriving relationship with God. I gotta know God for myself, because I can't pour from an empty cup, as we've heard that phrase before. But when I know who I am and whose I am in Christ, I'm going to be positive in my in what I talk about and how I deal with my man, because I'm going to see him the way God sees him. But I have to know how God sees me so I can see him in a loving light. So I think the key thing is to stay connected with God, draw closer to him so he can teach you how to minister to your husband.
Yo, man. All right, sis, what you got?
Yes, I agree with that 100%. What she just said. You have to know the man before you can know your man, because he made him in his image. He knows the hairs on his head. He knows all about him. So if you go to him and you let him know, Lord, I want to speak life into my man, but I need to know my man first. Please help me know my man. I believe God will lead you and guide you into getting to know your man. And know that allowing him to lead does not make you weak.
Right.
That's not a weakness. Allowing him to lead is a good thing.
Yeah.
And make sure you have a good wig and a good whip on hand. Because that will speak life into your man like nobody's business. And I'm telling you, for 24, my husband's 77 years old, honey, and he love a good whip and a good wig. So that's how you breathe life into your man.
However you may see fit.
Right. I think that's a new T-shirt.
Just make sure you have a safe word.
Know the man before you know your man. I think that's a T-shirt.
I was thinking the same thing, Ashley.
Get on it, Ash.
I was thinking the same thing.
Get on it, Ash. Get on it, Ash. Okay, all right. So I just want to pull out the 3 points the gentleman said on the video that we don't know what he looked like. He said, speak to this man and melt him. The way you speak to him can melt him. Can melt him. And I don't mean it's nothing like seeing your man just kind of get a little boyish, if that makes sense. Smile a little bit and he just kind of come down off of that. And you can see he's the hardness, but the softness at the same time. Speak to let melt that brother. He says, stop saying to him what he is not.
Right.
Woo! Stop telling that man what he is not. Speak to him and treat him for what you want to see, who you want to see, what you want to see. If your man is not affectionate, if he's not very intimate, look, he brushed by you, whoop, boy.
That's not playing with me.
Best not. You best not. And he looking like what?
Then they go in the mirror and puff up his chest and be like,
"Cause they do a little something. I don't care if they say something or not. It does. It does because, like Michelle said, we have a natural nurturing. Or was that Ashley that said that?
Yes,
we're natural nurturers.
Mm-hmm.
So the brains are wired the way they're wired. You can learn all you want. You can put in all you want. But that core of it, we desire and need each other. So speak life into that brother, in front of him, behind him, on the side of him, everywhere. Speak life to that brother. All right, ladies, this was great. Great.
Be blessed, ladies.
I appreciate y'all. We're going to end this stream. Ladies, hold on. Good night, Elisa. Good night, Marcia. Good night, Jasper. Good night, DeAndrea. What's up, girl? Good night, Kevin. Kevin, my boy, y'all. Kevin, my boy. We appreciate you all. And those of you who view the video later, like, comment, and be ready for next week. See y'all next week, Thursday.
Bye.